Hello everyone, I am Abhishek Keshravani, Assistant Professor, ABES Engineering College. In this video, we are going to learn about the final keyword in Java. So here you can see that we have basically final keyword, and we can use this final keyword with a particular variable, with the method, or with a particular class. So what happens if you declare any variable as final, when you declare any method as final, and third, when you declare any class as final. So when you declare any variable as final, so it is called final variable. So what happened? It will treat like a constant variable. It means that you cannot change the value of that particular variable. Suppose you have declared any method as final, what will happen? It will prevent method overriding. Means when you have a particular final method, you cannot override it. Third context in which you declare any class as final. So when you declare any class as final, what will happen? It will prevent the inheritance. Means you cannot inherit that final. So let's see how we can practically implement these three concepts and explore. So the first concept is that when I declare any variable as final. So suppose I have declared here a variable and initialize with a particular value, that is 12. Now, when I print this value, see what is the output. Here you don't have any error. Okay. Suppose I want to change this value. I'm going to change this value and I want to print this change value. So here you can see that it will give an error. Okay. So I'm canceling it. So means when you declare any variable as final, you cannot change the value and it is declared as a constant. Okay. This is the first concept regarding the constant variable. Now the second concept is that when you declare any method as final, so what will happen? Let's see. So here we have another class, and this class is the student. Okay. And in this particular class, we have a particular ID, and this particular ID here we have declared the 12. Okay. Now we have declared a method named as display. Okay. So what it will do, it will return the ID, what we have initialized here. So here we have the ID 12 and I want to print this ID, or whoever calls this particular method, it will get the ID. Okay. So here I have declared this method as final. Okay. So here this particular method now treated as final method. So what happens if we declare any method as final? Okay. Let's see. So first, suppose I want to create this particular object of the student class. So here, first I declare student st or student. And with the help of new keyword, I'm going to create the object. Now I'm going to print this. And here I have just, with the help of object, I'm going to call this display method. Okay. So here you can see that I have just created an object of the student class with the name student. Okay. Here you can see these two are different. Here this S is in a small letter. Okay. So we have created the object student of the student class, and here I've called this display method, which is actually the final method. So let's see what is the output. So here we get the ID that will be returned by this particular method. So suppose if I change here 14, okay, and again I'm going to run this. Let's see. Now this time I'm getting 14. Okay. So here we have this particular final method and we have called this method. There is no any issue while calling the final method. Okay. Now suppose we have another class person. Okay. Now I'm going to inherit the student class. So here just use the extend keyword for inheriting this particular student class in person. And now I'm going to create, I'm going to override actually the same method I have created earlier, that is display. So here I have written public end and display. And just okay. And here I want to print it. I want to print some message that I am work. Okay. Suppose I have just given this message just to override the same method we have declared in this. So now you can see that we are actually getting this error. What error we have? You cannot override the final method. So if I create the object of the person class, I cannot call this method and it will give the error. But what will happen if I change the name of the method? Suppose here in place of display, I have write show. Okay. And here I have to return something. So here I return 40. Okay. So now you can see that now this time we are not getting error because I'm not going to override any final method. Okay. So here you can see if you declare any method as final, what will happen? You cannot override it. This is the change you can see while declaring any method as final. Okay. So this is the second concept. Now the third concept, when you declare any class as final. So suppose I declare public final class student. So when I declare this particular class as final, we have immediately getting the error in the person class. Why we are getting error? Yeah, you can see because you can see the person cannot subclass the final class student. Means when you declare any class as final, you cannot inherit it. It will stop the inheritance process. So here you can see when I declare the class as final, we are getting the error. Okay. And when you compile this particular class, you will get error also. Okay. So how we can remove this error? Simply if you remove this final keyword, means when you declare this as normal class, we can see this error automatically clear. Okay. So here you can see the normal class you can inherit it. There is no problem. But the problem is when you declare any class as final. Okay. So what happens? You cannot inherit it. Okay. So here what happened? Suppose we have removed this. Then is there any error? No. So here you can see you can declare the class as final. Okay. And when you're declaring this particular class as final, you cannot inherit it. So can we use this particular final class? So let's see. So we have already created the object of the student class and we have already called the display method. So now execute this. Is there any error? No, we are getting the output. And yes, you can see that yes, we have initialized this ID with the 14 and here the display method returns this ID. So there is no issue while declaring the class as final, except that you cannot inherit it. Okay. So these are the three different concepts regarding the final keyword. Okay. So we have practically implemented these three concepts of the final variable, final method, and final class. Thank you.